the horsepower to get these guys forward. The sign is up and we're getting ready to go racing.
And here we are with some facts. In 20 years, we've had 18 different winners. We're going to get a different one here tonight. They're getting set to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be underway. There it is, the start. Right dead center out of the front. Millsap. Matt Walker gets passed by a half a dozen guys, and they go into turn number one. What a scramble. We didn't see anybody going down, at least in this shot. And it looks like everybody has got a good, clean, safe start.
Looks to me like Brian McGordy got another great start, running third right now.
Donnie McGordy on number 248 out of Florida. You know, he's really going crazy.
Langston's off the track as Millsap's rebounds and lateral.
Oh, Langston down, other Kawasaki down again.
This
Middle of the pack.
Setting it up, Brian, for a great race. The two fastest riders, both heat winners, coming from behind.
And now Matt Walker going down and getting T-boned really hard by Greg Schnell. So there goes our, our theory as far as Matt Walker is concerned. But it's really good that he's up and rolling because that was a hard hit.
Now, I talked about Donnie McGordy getting another great start. Wasn't that long ago he was doing the amateur ranks. So that's the same thing for our leader as we look at Matt Walker trying to get going. Josh Grant, who signed with Factory Connection, the first outdoor national of his career. He pulled the whole shot, led the race.
You got Josh Grant, McGordy, and Adams out front, and coming through the pack is Davey Millsap. You see him wasting no time banging on Mills, but no!
Down he goes, another big pileup. Lots of guys involved in this one, and it is unbelievable how much action we've got going on here already.
That was the replay, Brian, of what happened on the first lap with Millsap. He was trying to be safe and tuck it up the inside, and he got hit from behind and knocked down. He's got the speed to win the race. The riders out front are 2 to 3 seconds slower a lap, so we're going to see something really exciting down the final laps.
Well, clearly, I don't need any more than that to make it exciting. I'm looking at the second time something happened, thought it was happening again. But out in front, it's Grant, McGordy, Adams, the top three, and some of our pre-race favorites are really got their work cut out for them, with the exception of Hansen.
This is a huge opportunity, Rick, don't you think, for Josh Hansen?
Definitely. Josh Hansen's been one of those riders that I think mentally he's been getting beat up a little bit. He's been getting passed by Langston, been getting passed by Millsaps and stuff. So this is an opportunity. If he can get up front and get away from these guys, and here we see Matt Walker down again. Matt Walker having a hard time now, one lap down. But this kid, Josh Grant, came onto the scene last year at the Nationals, really put in some great performances, been injured a little bit, but now he's leading the Daytona Supercross.
And meanwhile, Grant Langston has moved up to 5th position, so one of our favorites is on the recovery path. There he is right there.
That was a fast recovery, Brian. I didn't think he was going to get back going quite that quick. Went completely off the racetrack, and usually when you make a big mistake like that early in the race, you get passed by packs of people, but he was able to limit the damage and keep himself in position to win the race. I don't mean to overlook Josh Grant's ability to win the race, but I'm just thinking a rider like Josh Hansen, who's already won a main event, might be a bit more experienced at a time like this.
And consider this, too, along with the facts that we saw on the screen. 20 times they've raced 125s here. 15 of those times, the winner of Daytona has become the winner of the championship. Let that little fact sit in your minds for a while we take a commercial break. We'll come back to action in the 125 main event here at Daytona. It has already been action-packed, and we're having a lot of fun. Hope you are, too. Up to the lead right now, but just as exciting are the riders coming up through the front. Davey Millsap's up to 8th position, made up about 4 spots, and one big deal. We'll see him in just a few moments as he heads towards the front, but right now we've got to be impressed with the leader. Pass for second.
Pass for second is Troy Adams going in, and Adams is one of those guys. He's a big physical guy. He's 190 pounds on the 254-stroke Honda, but this track plays for strong guys. So watch for Troy Adams. He's been very impressive in the past. He's one of the guys that's going to be pushing at the end of the race.
And Matt Walker, the flags are out. That's the 3rd time he's hit the deck, and what a disgusting night. And Langston has gone down off the triple. He's in a blind spot. Lucky he's not going to get hit. Millsaps is getting around him. Millsaps, we talked about how much progress he'd made. The reason for that was a 57.3, the fastest lap so far, close to what the 250s are running. So he is in position to win the race now.
Grant Langston having all kinds of problems as we continue to watch the leader here. He had gotten up to 5th position.
And one of the problems that a lot of people complain about the 4-strokes, and Grant Langston is right there. He's having a hard time getting his bike started. He finally got it started. He's a distant last place. So everything that you think is going to happen wrong happens here at Daytona. Grant Langston was in a position to make a lot of points on Davey Millsap, and now goes down on the big triple.
And speaking of having a tough time starting the bike, I talked about Josh Grant's first national. He led it. He was actually pulling a gap on the field at Hangtown last year. tipped over in a rut and could not start the bike and DNF'd the race. And now we're looking at Grant Langston giving up a lot of points here possibly to Davey Millsaps for the title.
Well, this has really turned the title chase upside down. You fellas made the point about 250s versus 450s in the big class, but it seems as though the four-strokes are completely dominating racing, and with that one little exception, if you stop one, it's hard to get it going again.
Yeah, and you know, there's one other exception, that would be James Stewart on 125. He might be able to make something happen there, but for everybody else, there's just not enough torque on a 125 to keep up with these 254 strokes.
And we saw that in the highlight. Here is Grant Langston, the points leader. Well, he was, let's just say, until we do the math, before this tremendous upside-down turn for him. But Josh Grant continues to impress out front while Langston is trying to do damage control.
Well, Grant's in a position to where, I've been in this position with David. You know, you're racing for a championship, and I seen David go down, or David saw me get stuck in a gate at one time. You relax a little bit, and you think, my main competition's got some time out. I can relax. And I think Grant messed up a little bit, relaxed on that big triple, and went down. And now he's just got to claw and dig his way for every point.
The top 6 riders that last lap all turning within a half a second lap time. So Millsaps, all the progress he made early, he's not able to close the gap very much. Okay. And Josh Grant I think he's getting comfortable out front. He seems to be finding the lines he likes. And you know, when you get a lead like this and you got a lot of pressure, it's difficult to get into your rhythm. And he doesn't have a lot of pressure because all the big guys are making mistakes behind him, and he may be able to pull this off, Rick.
But Daytona's been a place for underdogs, and I really didn't, I don't say that Josh Grant is an underdog. There we get the cross flags, which means halfway. He's not an underdog, but Ricky Ryan has won this race. A lot of underdogs have come and won here because anything can go on at Daytona. Here we see Adams in second place, riding very, very strong, but Davey Millsaps moving in, still in sixth place, trying to go by Chad Johnson for fifth place.
Donnie Hansen's son, Josh Hansen, starting to make some progress on the battle for second.
Millsaps 15th on the first lap, is up to 5th. He's heading for the front. Will he get there? We'll see. Welcome back to the Daytona Supercross by Honda. The leader is Josh Grant, but Adams and Hansen are having a great battle here for second position, and for Hansen it has championship coloration to it.
Well, you brought up that stat. The winner of this race 15 times gone on to win the title. Now as this battle heats up, the gap is shrinking to the lead. Josh Hansen can smell a win here. He has no pressure from behind, nothing to lose. Millsaps is not gaining fast enough with the amount of time that's left.
Josh Hansen getting on the inside of Troy Adams and getting by. Adams making a move back in the whoops, and we'll see who comes out on top of that. But another statistic here, KTM has never won a Daytona Supercross. So if Josh Hansen can get up there and win this main event, it'll be a double win for him, and also it's his first Daytona win and also first win for KTM.
A couple of Hondas out front, KTM chasing him, but what about Millsaps? Take a look at a great piece of athleticism and a super save here that happened to him just a little while ago.
Well, Davey Millsaps has got one of those guys that's so much confidence. When he rides, you almost think he doesn't even think about what he's doing. He reminds me a lot of Ronnie Lachine. You look at the save, he just keeps his balance. The bike comes off. It doesn't matter. He just gets right by Chad Johnson, who's been, running strong in the arena cross. But Davey Millsaps on the move forward. He's shrinking that lead. So this race is not over yet.
Hansen has really closed the gap, Brian, now on the leader, Josh Grant. Grant can feel it. I talked about who would be more comfortable up there, somebody with a little bit more experience like Hansen or Josh Grant. I think Hansen would get the nod there, and he's the one able to apply the pressure right now. He's in a good position.
And that indeed will be a big deal as far as the championship goes. I think Millsaps was just showing Johnson there a little freestyle move on the way by. What do you think?
That's just his version of a knack-knack.
Yeah,
Didn't get it all the way over, though.
And we can't see it's off camera right now, but Grant Langston has gone down again. So the frustration for the Pro Circuit Monster Energy guys has gone on. So now Grant has been lapped. He just got lapped by Josh Hansen, and now he's being lapped by Davey Millsaps. So the frustration, he pulls on the track right behind Davey, and you see that Davey is pulling in right behind Troy Adams. So if Davey keeps this thing going, it could be a three-way battle. This could be one of the most exciting finishes in the 125 event we've ever had.
Langston barely holding on inside the top 20, and as Grant Langston went down, we didn't see it. Here's another look.
Coming into the whoops, he gets swapped sideways and just goes down, loses it. That's what I'm talking about this track, Dave. David, you got to agree with me. It gets more and more tricky, and the more you try stuff, the more frustrated you get.
No, this is the kind of track where you've got to keep your cool and he got cross-rutted a little bit in there. The whoops are hard enough, but when you're trying to aim at a rut, it gets even harder, and he was a little bit off balance before he entered the section. Now, Millsap's trying to make a move on Adams, move up a spot.
Troy Adams was one of them clean riders, and Davey Millsap's very aggressive. So I don't think we'll see a lot of sparks flying, but Davey definitely does not want to waste much time because he could have a shot at this win if he gets by Adams soon enough.
That's for third and fourth position on the racetrack right now. Grant with about a 2-second lead over Hansen at this point in the contest. And Josh Grant is coming under attack himself. In fact, here it is as the KTM rider comes up into second position and challenges for the lead. Grant is finding his first challenge of this race. There goes Hansen down on the inside. Couldn't quite make it stick. Here is going to be a very, very critical part of the racetrack that you guys have talked about. Is this where he's going to get it done?
He gets up to side by side, and Josh Hansen takes the lead in the Daytona Supercross. Can Grant come back? He triples. They got lappers in the way. They're going back and forth. That's what this track is about. As the track deteriorates, Josh Grant was able to make up 5 bike lengths in one section just by a small mistake by Hansen.
Pretty good move for a rookie. This is Josh's rookie Supercross season, and I heard reports early on in his Supercross testing that they were considering maybe not having him ride Supercross because he just wasn't flowing with it, and he's flowing pretty good tonight on the most difficult track there is.
Oh, a battle for third that turns into hand-to-hand combat as Millsap's got a lot of hard work, all went for nothing there with that collision. We go back to the leader right now, and we're going to have to take a real quick break as another lead exchange is happening. Sorry. Okay, we're going to stick. That's good enough, but we're going to stick with you here as Hansen and Grant are going after it for the lead. Side by side racing. A third place incident there now gives Adams a clear shot at the final podium position, but look at this.
Here comes Josh Grant back. He's getting a run on Hansen. It goes back into the lead. This is the kind of stuff that you see that we've talked about. A lot of the young riders haven't showed the heart. Well, both of these guys are giving it.
Millsaps is pulled off the racetrack. He's decided that apparently something has either happened to his machine or to himself. He is not going to be in this one, and that opens the door wide for Hansen to be the man atop the standings when this one is going on. There is Davey Millsaps off the course.
He looks to be okay, Brian. He's leaning over the front end. It looks like maybe something wrong with the throttle or the front brake. It was the right side of his bike, I believe, that clipped Troy Adams. And Troy, all he did was get squirrely. He didn't mean to make that happen. It was an unfortunate break for Millsaps, the second one of this race.
Well, as they say on four wheels, that's racing, but it has been really a serious turn of events for the two men atop the point standings coming into this race.
Well, the question is, did Josh Hansen, shoot his round off by making that move too early? Here, Grant, he made his move. Now, Grant came back. A lot of times, if you make that move on somebody and they get you back, it blows you out mentally. And Josh Hansen has been able to get tipped mentally. So Josh Grant is doing a great job at fighting himself back, and he's working through the traffic very well.
Yeah, and that time through that section where Grant was making up time tripling, Hansen was able to triple as well. And you're absolutely right, Rick, and you've done that to me before. I've passed you, and I think, okay, well, that's that. And you get me right back, and it throws you completely out of sync, and you got to start from scratch. But what's happened here is Hansen's able to match that pace. Josh is not able to get away from him, so he's able to keep the pressure on, maybe take advantage of a bad decision by Josh through lappers down the stretch.
Definitely, I agree with you 100%, David, on that. White flag, the lappers are going to make this race because both riders are going to be square. And we've seen Hansen very aggressive.
And they go! And they go down!
Lap.
That could open it up for Adams if he can get by. And a lot of guys are going to do just exactly that while the two leaders are on the ground. They're both up and back going again. Neither one stalled their bike.
We said that this could be the most exciting main event. I said Hansen is aggressive, but damn, I can't believe this.
All right, folks, out of time now is Hansen and Grant. Leave it up to me, guys. I can talk under almost any conditions, but that brought me to near speechlessness right now. And with that, it seems as though Hansen came out of the incident the better man. Grant has almost surrendered here, and Josh Hansen has proven to be the guy that could get to his feet and get going and keep his head together best.
They both kept their bikes running, too, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone says the four strokes. If they keep running, they both got out and got going, and Hansen made that final aggressive move to force out Grant.
I'll tell you what, Josh is quite a charismatic kid, and I can't wait to hear this interview.
Well, Indeed, Hansen, Josh Hansen that is looking like he's going to win this one. He settled in on the final lap, and the statistic about 15 times the champion in Daytona turns out to be the titleist, and KTM has its first ever win at Daytona, so you know that the men and women in orange are going to be celebrating big here in Bike Week tonight.
The part that I love is that Josh Grant and Josh Hansen both congratulated each other. They're not swinging, they're not yelling at each other. Josh Hansen looks like he's going to puke a lung, but look at Josh Grant. I might go up and hit him, and be mad at him, but you know what he's saying? That's a great race, and that's what you want to see. Two champions, two warriors battling till that last lap, and both of them saying, hey, you did what you had to win. I congratulate you.
Yeah, Josh is stoked. I mean, if you're going to lose one, that's how. He had such a shot at it. When he went across the finish line, he punched the air, and I was thinking, oh, he's mad, and he rode right up to Hansen. I thought, uh-oh, here we go. He was just riding over to go, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. I've talked about that with Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed. The best thing a warrior could ever have is somebody to fight with, and to see two guys, congratulate each other for a battle, because that's what this sport is about. It's a full battle, and they were doing it.
Well, he's obviously got some physical difficulty there going on, and the celebration is going to have to wait just a little bit. But Dave Despain, what do you think?
Well, we talked earlier about these kids that get paid a lot of money and are content to kind of just take the check and not worry about winning the races. I'll take those two Joshes off my list of guys like that. Grant and Hansen, that's as good a race as I've seen in a very, very long time. We're going to need a commercial break. We'll let this kid get himself gathered together, and then we'll come back and hear what he has to say about a dramatic finish for this 125 main event. Don't go anywhere. One for these two kids that have just put on a spectacular performance here in the 125 main event at the Daytona Supercross. Problem for Grant Langston and Davey Millsap, the championship challengers, and that left number 35 Josh Grant, number 100 Josh Hansen, as they come down to the last lap with Hansen in the lead, or check that, with Grant in the lead. And let's watch how this one unfolds. Here comes the challenge from Hansen, side by side, and down they both go. Somehow they kept those motorcycles going. Who's going to get back on first? Who's headed the right direction? And in the end, it is Josh Hansen who wins it. Both guys are standing by with our Greg White.
What an incredible race. How are you feeling right now, and tell me about it?
I mean, I feel good. It was definitely it was a tiring race. I didn't get the good start, and Josh was out there out front. He made it easy for himself for sure. And I caught up, and I was like, last lap I seen it come out, and I'm like, dude, this is gonna be do or die. So I went into that corner, went outside, and went inside, and I thought he had let off, but we had a big tangle up, and I just thank God both of our bikes were running, dude, because 4-strokes are a pain to start. So I'm stoked. Daytona is the gnarliest race of the year, and this is where the boys, the men are separated from the boys, and I think me and Josh, we showed it out here, and it was a good race.
Congratulations. So, Josh.
Thank some people. I got to thank KTM Red Bull KTM, Dunlop Tires, Troy Lee Designs, Dragon, my mechanic Oscar, my family, Donnie Hansen, and Big L, the truck driver, and that's it.
All right, cool, man. Congratulations. Wow, what a show you guys put on, Josh. I mean, you were there, you led this thing, and then it came down, you guys were banging and fell down. How are you feeling right now?
A little winded. I saw that white flag, and I was just so happy to be up front. Man, I was really nervous, and then Josh went inside when we both fell. The only thing I think about is picking that bike up before it stalled. So it was actually good, and I'm glad to be up here after all this hard work and stuff. So.
Well, thanks for giving us one of the most entertaining 125 races we've seen in a long time. Congratulations on second place.
Thanks. I'd like to thank everyone at Amsoil, Factory Connection, Honda, Napster, Shift, my mechanic Naveen, my dad, my mom, everyone for helping me out. Thanks.
All right, get on the podium. All right, Brian.
All right, our congratulations to both of those kids. And fellas, we're going to take a look at the results here right now, but I believe we're going to possibly get another chance to take a look at that. Hansen and Grant, with all due respect to everybody else, that was the race, folks, but the championship is going to really go upside down. Josh Hansen, unofficially and very much by our own math, will be the new point leader. Here are the names of the men who finished all the way down. Look at Grant Langston in 15th position. Big problem for his championship challenge. And Davey Millsap's in 18th, even worse. We do have the points now. We'll be able to show you how the championship goes as Greg Schnell and Matt Walker, who had a horrible night, round out the top 22 finishers. here it is. 2 points back now instead of 7 points up on Davey Millsaps is Grant Langston. Millsaps 12 points behind the leader, who is now Josh Hansen. And yes, that last lap is worth another look, fellas, and I'm just going to step back and let y'all have it.
Well, going into this, David Bailey and I have had some epic battles. Everyone talks about the Anaheim race. We didn't take each other out. And I knew Hansen was an aggressive kid, and he was going to go for it. Grant leaves the door open, and bang, they both go down. And next thing you know, they're both scrambling to get their bikes up. And Hansen picks it up, but notice he has to hold the clutch with one hand, switch it, and the bike still gets going.
That's just so amazing. I mean, those guys were absolutely exhausted, and yet they were so quick to get to those bikes and keep them running. Look at Josh, comes to the inside thinking, oh, this could be clean, but Josh had no idea, and he saw it kind of late. He couldn't avoid the collision. Those lappers are like, what in the world is going on?
Avoid the collision. I think he was looking for it. I've been in that position racing against you where, okay, maybe if I can take him out, I can rest the last half a lap. So I think that's what he was going for.
And I think the most amazing thing to me was that they each got on the correct motorcycle and kept going again in all that confusion. We'll be right back with more from Daytona.